Hey guys, I'm Maria, the in-house designer for Umeko, and today I'll be showing you how to utilize negative space to kind of like prepare your files or ensure that your files are the best that they can be for print-on-demand t-shirts or print-on-demand anything, honestly. Yeah. So basically what Umeko uses or what Umeko accepts is PNG files for your artwork files, which is a file format that is kind of different from your regular JPEG because it actually allows you to have a transparent background in your files or your image files. Now, usually when you see like a JPEG, there's usually like a background, a white background, or whatever background that's associated with it, and it's usually in a square or rectangle, whatever the image size is. But for PNGs, it's much different. You don't need to have a background, so you can have a totally transparent background, and so you can have like all these kind of like funky shapes or outlines in your design files, and it kind of makes the design, especially when you're printing on t-shirts, it kind of makes the design more fluid in a sense, because like I don't think anyone's walking around with like a square on your shirt. I mean, some designs are like that, but like not a lot of them are like that, or and I don't think that's what you want, especially if you're clicking on this video. So I have my template open, I have my demo files open just to do a little demonstration on what I mean. I'm using Photoshop as my design software, but if you don't have Photoshop or you don't have a Photoshop membership, that's totally okay, because you can use photop.com, which is basically a free web-based replica of Photoshop, and you can open up Photoshop files on there. So if you're trying to replicate what I'm doing here, you won't see much of a difference or any difference at all. Now let me just make the layers visible. I have DemoCat PNG and DemoCat JPEG right here. Now this is what I mean when there's a difference between JPEGs and PNGs, and that is the transparent background, because with this JPEG example over here, you actually see that it sits on a white background even if you save it as a transparent background, and that's because it's a JPEG. But for PNGs, you don't have that. You can have like the totally transparent background. So as you can see, like if I move it around, the template lines like show, and it doesn't get disrupted in any way besides the design area or the design portion of this image file. Now, what some of you might do, or those who are not as versed in designing, which is totally okay, some of you might actually just change the background color of the JPEG. And like, sure, yeah, that works on your design software, and it does look transparent, but as you can see here, there still is a background, and it's still part of the image file or the artwork file. And what actually happens is that it will our print machine takes the whole image, the image as a whole, and prints it out. So if you submit this one here, the JPEG version, you're going to get a cat, in this example a cat, with a black square around it. And even if your t-shirt is like black in color, or like the shirt that you're designing on is black in color, or whatever color the background is supposed to be, then you'll still get the color printed on it, or the background printed on. And I don't think that's what you want. You kind of want more of like a more fluid, going around the shape kind of design. So what you're actually supposed to do is select the background and delete it. So we delete it off, so that now it's like the PNG, it's a clear background. Like I can change this here and it'll still be clear. So that's what we mean by utilizing the negative space. Now for exporting your files and preparing your files for submission, I will go through that in like a different video. But I hope this tutorial on negative space was helpful, and happy designing!